Can you trust the TV news media anymore? Let's get into it. Hello, welcome to the channel. So can you trust the TV news media anymore? The problem with mainstream media in general is that sometimes it just doesn't represent the people, or it doesn't bring the stories in an unbiased way. We've seen it so many times where with the BBC, ITV, Channel 4, they have their own agendas. And then you look at rolling news TV stations, and you think you're just regurgitating the same thing and you're getting the stories wrong. It's not 100% objective in all cases where it should be. There seems to be that the reporter has a certain agenda against either a politician or whomever they're interviewing or whatever they're reporting on. This is the news feed that I'm getting. And is it beneficial to me? Does it give me what I actually need? Does it give me an unbiased view? And they'll say, oh yes, we're unbiased. But they're not. They've been found out so many times. And not only just in this country. If you look in the United States and the polarity between different news stations, news outlets, and the way they lie and deceive, and they have their agendas against certain people or certain points of view, whether they're left-leaning or right-leaning. And if you've got a left-leaning TV news station, then all of a sudden they start attacking somebody with a right-leaning point of view. Then you think, well, this is not being objective. This is being political. This is serving your own means. We are of this political persuasion and we're going to attack that person. And that's not what news media is about. News media is supposed to be completely objective. It's not supposed to stand for one side or the other in terms of the way it delivers news and the way it investigates news and the way it researches their stories. It's about being objective, sitting right in the middle and just looking at what stories are developing and what points of view. That's journalism. That's what it's supposed to be about. But unfortunately, we've moved away from that. We've moved away from stories and finding the truth and trying to be objective. And it's more about clickbait, sensationalism. It's about news media fighting against each other. I was speaking to somebody many years ago about this, and they were working in the news media themselves, and they were subcontracting out to the news media. But essentially, they worked on a day-to-day basis with journalists and editors and producers. And they said, actually, their only consideration is not the story. It's not bringing it in the best possible way. Their only consideration is to bring that story either out first or bring it out in a much better way than their competitors. In other words, the other news stations. That's their only consideration. So that's why over recent years, more and more flaws have got into broadcast journalism. And you can hear it on the radio or see it on the TV when they're making mistakes. And you think, well, hold on, that's not correct. What have you just said there? That's not correct. And you might have these watchdog programs, that kind of hold these news stations up to account. At the same time, they're still creating these issues. They still repeatedly do these things. Now, whether you're talking about the BBC and all the shenanigans that go on there historically, whether it's newsreaders or TV personalities, or it could be any other station, whether you get a Channel 4 presenter who's trying to attack some guest, verbally attack some guest, but then they have egg on their face because they really haven't researched the guest at all, and they have no idea what this person stands for, really. Then you're getting a huge backlash against whole of TV news media from the internet. Because the internet has basically woken up over the last 15, 20 years in terms of independent opinion, independent thought, being objective, bringing a different opinion. And not only social media, but also, platforms like YouTube and, podcasts and everything like that, where people are having discussions amongst themselves. And they're saying, look, I can get this news. We can deliver this news from here. You don't have to go to TV news media, because actually what they're saying is actually complete nonsense. And what we're giving you is at least the truth as far as we see it, of what we are bringing you. We're bringing you an opinion that they don't even want to talk about. We're bringing you information that you won't find on news media. And that's the problem. The problem is that TV news media has changed. I still watch the news from time to time. But a lot of it is sensationalist, a lot of it is depressing, I've got to say, and a lot of it is biased and based on an agenda that they might have. Now, again, you can't really label this on all TV news media, and you can't really label this on all broadcast journalists. However, there has been a movement, and you kind of look at it and you think, well, if I just had to rely on TV news media, then I wouldn't have the full picture. That's why going to in the internet, as I say, you got to be careful when you go to the internet as well, what information you get from there, because we know there's a lot of warped ideas, a lot of warped information and incorrect information coming from the media, and also coming from the internet, especially social media, where you've got to be incredibly careful of what you read and what you're believing. My take on this is that no matter where I'm receiving this information from, whether it's TV news media, whether it's the internet in particular, any search engine. I'm not just talking about Google. It could be anything, whether it's social media, whether it's YouTube or whatever it is. Whatever platform I'm getting my information from, even hard copy magazines or newspapers, those things that are diminishing by the day. But wherever I'm getting that information from, you've got to kind of be objective. You can't just readily accept everything. You can't just readily believe everything that you're being told or that you're hearing or seeing or reading. You've got to have an objective point of view to say, okay, this is their opinion. This is what they're bringing me, but I need to know more. Even if you're getting visual evidence of what you're seeing. Well, we know sometimes visual evidence can be corrupted, but also it's about context. We don't really know the whole story. We don't know what's caused that to happen. And that's the whole point. Sometimes TV news media and any media is reporting what's happened and not necessarily what's caused this to happen. And then there's a big backlash against what has happened and not necessarily what's caused it as well. And then you're getting people of different agendas, different persuasions, trying to pull the story in so many different ways. And this is a responsibility of TV news media, from my point of view, is to make sure that the story is not pulled in so many different directions where it warps the truth. And that's what we want. We always want the truth. Or we, as individuals, should always be seeking the truth. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications bell for all future videos. And I will catch you again on another video coming very soon. Bye now.